Hello, I'm Michael Suba, President of Continental Hair. I'd like to talk to you today about extensions, and we actually have a demonstration for you that's going to be really cool. We have Seven, one of my stylists, who's been wearing these extensions year in and year out for the past little while, actually, and she's getting married, so she's getting some new ones put in, and she wants the look. And we have Jacqueline, who you've seen in some of our other videos, that is going to be applying them. What we'd like to show you today is the good, the bad, and the ugly of hair extensions. They're very, very popular. There's all sorts of different techniques out there. So we want to sort of walk you through why we like these and why we don't like some of the other ones out there, and what you should be aware of to make sure that you don't only make a costly mistake, but you don't make a mistake that could cost you a lot of your hair. So I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you learn something from it, so that if you are looking at hair extensions, you get the right ones with the right hair and the right technique for you. Back in the late 1980s, I was really excited about a new extension technique. It used little, what they call bonds, what I always thought of as glue, that were attached to the tips, and they were melted onto little bits of the woman's hair. And they'd stay there for several months, sometimes 6 months. And this was revolutionary back then, because before there was all sorts of braiding and wefting and tying. These were really something that like came out of NASA, and everybody was very excited about them. It was the first one in Toronto to actually put this technique into practice. I was really pleased with the result, the way the hair flowed, the attachment technique, but I very quickly saw that when you removed those bonds, it was like getting 200 bits of bubble gum out of a woman's hair. You had to use acetone, a very powerful solvent, to break down the bond, and then you had a special plier that you would have to crush the bond and then comb it out. But of course, if the bond had been in there for months at a time, a lot of the hair around it had matted. So it was very, very tough to get out, and a lot of a woman's hair would come out with it. It wasn't so much the problem of the attachment going in, it wasn't the wear of the extensions, it was the removal. And every time I would do this, I would notice that when a woman asked me to reattach new, fresh hair into her own hair as another fresh extension, we'd have less hair to work with. And there was one particular client that came to me from England. She had this particular technique done in London. And she was very nice, very sweet, and she asked if I would remove her extensions. She moved to Toronto, and she had enough, and she wanted them removed. She wasn't going to have them put it back in quite yet. And her hair was very high blonde, very fine, and it took me 6 hours to get that hair out of her hair. And at the end of it, her hair was so stringy and broken. She was traumatized, I was traumatized. I swore I'd never do that technique again. And for over 10 years, Continental Hair did no hair extensions at all. While everybody else was making lots of money doing them, I would have nothing to do with them. Until another technique came along. And instead of the glue, there's a little shell, it's like a bead. And what happens is we thread that bead with the woman's own hair, a little bit of hair, about 10, 15 strands. And then we put the extension in there, and then we crimp the bead to hold it. So there's no glue. Very easy to remove, because all you do is open the bead and the extension slides out. Or if you want to reuse it, or adjust it, then basically open the bead, slide up the hair, and then crimp it again. Very quick, very clean. No solvent, no glue. It's something that is very, very quick as well. And when you have a busy salon, quick is good. And when you have busy clients, quick is good. And when you have women that are very concerned about their hair, having the most benign extension technique is excellent. So that's why we're really excited about this particular technique, because you put anything in your hair for months at a time, and it's not going to be the best thing for it. But this causes the least amount of damage. And for that, we're very, very grateful. You still have to have strong, healthy hair, but this is the reason why we love it, and it's so popular with our clients. These extensions, because they're reusable, they can stay in for a long time. Actually, some of our clients have had them in for over 12 months and still looking good. The reason, of course, is that when you adjust them, you don't have to destroy the bond or anything. There is no bond, it's just a bead. You can just slide them up. So the aftercare, after we put the extensions in, the maintenance, it's not a very romantic word for it, but it is true. We really do insist that our clients come back every month or so to have us look at their extensions. See, certain things can happen when you have hair added to your own hair. They can start to mat together, and that's very dangerous because it makes it, even with this technique, it makes it difficult to remove them and move them. So we have to get back in. You can't see what's going on back there, so we get in there and we make sure that they're not dreading together or anything. Also, if they've slid or anything, we can adjust them, make sure that they all look good all the time. And also, if there is anything going wrong, we can see it immediately before it causes any damage. And of course, at the end of it, we can take them out and put new ones in. But it's very important for our clients to make sure that they come back on regular visits to ensure that we make sure that their hair looks good and that it's not doing any damage. Now, this is very important. A lot of salons have been pushing the idea that extensions can help women with thinning hair. I really don't like this. I'm adamant about the fact that extensions are for extending length, and they're to be used only by women that have very strong, healthy hair. They put a lot of weight on the hair. They do cause some stress on hair, and unless you have healthy hair, and unless you just want length, it's something that can cause a lot of damage. I'm upset sometimes when I will have a client come to see me and they need a hairpiece or a wig because they've been wearing extensions and it's damaged their hair so much that they can't do anything else. So if someone is trying to say that, oh, we're going to thicken your hair up with extensions and put it on top and do all this, that's not what they're designed for. And whenever you're trying to do something with a product that isn't designed for that effect, it's going to cause problems. So, some rules of thumb that you should remember. First of all, extensions do not go on top of the head. They only go up to that ridge where your head starts to go up like this, up in here like this, and so fine. But in here, in this area here, never put an extension. Absolutely not. It's only around the back and sides. Stay away from the bonded extensions, very, very tough. And make sure that you're always monitoring how the extensions are interacting with your hair. Don't become less diligent as time goes on. Actually, as time goes on, you should get more diligent because more things can go wrong. So if I was going to give any advice to any woman that was wanting to do something positive about her thinning hair, stay away from extensions. That's not what they're designed for. So the reason why I love these extensions is that they're the safest out there. They're the most benign to your own hair. They look amazing. The hair that we use is terrific and it really blends nicely. And lastly, it's very quick and easy. It's not something that you have to spend a whole day having done or anything. It's quick, it's easy, it looks great, and it's safe. And that means that we can have a client that is confident that her new great look isn't harming her own hair.